let me present to you Victor Kauk. He is a PhD, a docent of the engineering from the Kharkiv National University of Radio Electronics, coordinator of the network of academic business incubators in Kharkiv. He is the member of our annual workshops and conferences. Thank you for being so active with us. And now let me pass the floor to Victor. Thank you. If you can see and hear me, then I would like to welcome all of the conference participants, and the topic of this presentation is purely technological and practical at the same point. I would like to draw attention to such functionality of our e-learning system called Moodle, namely virtual badges, which increases the level of interest of students or cadets, offers the option for gamification, creating a competitive environment at the training course, and also it's a badge for certain merits or achievements. In my video presentation that you can view, in 15 minutes, I create such badge quickly in online editor, set it up as a professor, and can add within uh, uh, the framework of my training course to award my cadets with badges. For instance, the badge for the fastest answer, the best answer, or the best question, or for helping the instructor, etc. However, we also added another setting, and we demonstrate how to do it. And now, thanks to the standard functionality of the e-learning or remote learning platforms, you can do such badge not only inside the course, but you can offer integration with an external system using Badge R, which is free of charge, well, certain restrictions, but it's still free of charge. And if we, for instance, say that our cadets graduated from the training course having 100 out of 100, which means the best. So we can give him this electronic badge, which would be part of his certificate and could be integrated into LinkedIn profile. So having certain links, certain settings from administrator, which are quite simple. And also there should be some settings done manually by a cadet, him or herself, not difficult as well, but we live in such a digital society that such digital badges in your profile or in any other professional media network would highlight your competences and your achievements. And it's important that our Ukrainian universities and other higher learning institutions would be able to use this mechanism in order for a student or a cadet, if he or she really is an apt student, why not get a badge? So that's my brief description of what you can watch in video for greater detail. Thank you. Thank you. Well, so far, no questions posted just yet. So let me ask you a question myself. Those badges, it's more like a moral incentive, right?
Чи хоча б там залік автоматом, чи щось
таке. Я зробив. Дивіться.
Well, got it. Well, you know what? I just explained what functionality our Moodle platform contains already. So any user, any instructor that is to say can add this functionality to their training course. For instance, if I use it myself, I add additional points to the score of the student. So if he was the first to send the quiz back to me, then I add 1 or 2 points and they compete with one another. that motivates them to do things faster because distance learning or remote learning should have even more strict discipline rules in place. So it's only up to the instructor to motivate with such points. The system doesn't have this setting preference. That's why I create additional tasks and award those additional points for performance of this assignment. Also, we can take into consideration external systems that award similar badges themselves. How? Based on what our legislation stipulates, it's an informal education. And so each institution should have its own procedure on accepting the awards awarded by informal learning institutions. So if a student got the certificate or a digital badge from IBM or from any other reputable institution, then there is a mechanism how this person files an application or request. The board is convened and they can either accept or not. So they can either accept full or partially the course the student has already completed. So it's possibility that you might use. Has it been used frequently? Not yet, but I would like us as universities to have our electronic badges included into this global digital award environment. So that was my motivation to help you out to navigate you through that. Thank you. Thank you. Can you tell us, please, what do you think as to those gamification elements? What was the feedback from your students? Does it motivate them? This gamification functionality? So how they treat them? What's their attitude? Are there still some students who don't believe that it's serious? Well, I got your question. When I say students, I break them down into groups because if we're talking about students of the first and second year and the third and fourth, that's different than PhD seekers, aspirants, that's elite. So actually, I believe that gamification motivates because it adds satisfaction to the learning process and that works for the first couple of years, but in the late years a person is no longer about having fun but is either employed and has a job in parallel to training or is focused on future employment. So yeah, it still works but with lesser efficiency. That's why I also offer badges for aspirants, but there is no such a strong competition there as at the first and the second years. So to compete, to prove that you're the best, this desire to be the best should be cultivated and developed. Sure enough, the system offers different means of gamification, but I always claim that you need to go with the global accepted, like digital badges. And when I tell a student, so look, your electronic badge could be added to your profile in Facebook or LinkedIn or elsewhere, then it motivates him or her to play the game. I have, for instance, the badge for senior students. So that's the person who was qualified as the best students, the best graduate. So now they start asking me what it would take for me to become the senior student. Well, another brief question.
Бо ми дещо недавно з ним познайомилися, і дуже зручний інструмент. До цього там всі
Have
фактично
you used Canva application. Previously, you probably used Photoshop only. Well, I use Canva for the last 3+ years, and what I tell my students is this: we live in a fast changing environment. For less effort, you need to get the highest quality results. Canva is one of the examples of such editors where you virtually know nothing about design, use templates or your own constructor, and you create beautiful graphic outlook. That's important. Such tools are made available everywhere. You can draw schematics fast. You can develop websites fast. And that's extremely important right now to receive higher quality results. So Canva is something that I recommend.
Дякую. Дякую вам дуже за доповідь. Так,
Thanks a lot.